welcome to the ScienceDirect training session. My name is Daneshri Mendeley. I'm the customer consultant for Elsevier. I am based in Durban, South Africa, and I am responsible for the products Scopus, ScienceDirect, and Mendeley for customers that are within the sub-Saharan Africa region of Elsevier. I apologize for the delay in today's training session and for the inconvenience of the Zoom link not working. I'm not sure what happened. I think it was a technical issue with Zoom. And I will provide a recording of the session for those that could not make it. So I'm so sorry about this difficulty in joining today. Today, we're going to discuss ScienceDirect, a platform that you have access to, and how to get better usage out of the product, how to improve your searching on ScienceDirect, and how to make your research more efficient using this great platform. So ScienceDirect is Elsevier's leading platform that hosts publications that are from Elsevier as well as its society partners. Okay, it's a web-based platform, and it contains information which includes different access types. You have subscription access type, and you also have open access. Subscription access type means that, I see a message, there are people waiting in the room for admission. Josephine, this is a Zoom meeting, so they can automatically join. It's not like Teams where they have to be accepted into the meeting. As long as they have the link, they can join the meeting. So they can't actually accept them in. So thanks for letting me know though. So just explaining about ScienceDirect, being a web-based platform and it hosts Elsevier's publications, there's different ways in which you can access these publications. If it's a subscription publication, you would require a subscription to the particular journal to be able to access the content of the journal. If it's an open access journal, then you do not require a subscription to access the content of the journal. So those are the two different access types. Normally, when you're working within the IP range of your organization, the organization is the product is able to identify you as part of the organization by looking at the IP range of which you are joining the session on. When ScienceDirect is able to identify the IP range, it can identify that the person is from, for example, the Namibia Ministry of Mines and Energy, and then the person would be able to get access to that which the organization has subscribed to. If I go to journals and books on ScienceDirect, I will see that there are 4,000 journals, more than 31,000 books that are either published by Elsevier or its society partners. You may not have access to the complete research that's available on ScienceDirect, but you will have access to what your organization has subscribed to, as well as open access content. I am going to show you how to filter on what you have access to and be able to see the content your organization has made available to you. So in order to do this, you would need to identify yourself as part of the organization if you are working outside of the IP range of the organization. How do you do that? You need to create a ScienceDirect account. So when you come onto the platform using ScienceDirect.com, you create an account with your username and password. Your username should be that where you have entered in your organizational email address into the email field when registering your account. By using your organizational email address, ScienceDirect is able to pick up the domain of your email address and authenticate you as a user that is part of that organization. So different organizations subscribe to different amounts of content. Thus, you need to be able to tell the platform where you are from. Once you've created an account, you scroll to the bottom of the page, you select remote access. It will then ask you for your name of your institution or your institutional email address. I will select, for example, in my case, it will be Elsevier. And I'm going to select a demonstration account for this training session. Let me try this again because my account is active for remote access. Okay, I'll put in my email address in this case. I'll select continue. And then it's asking me for the organization from which I'm from. And I'm going to select a demonstration account. And it says that it has emailed me a link to confirm that I am from this organization. So I will get an email saying that I'm from the organization in my organizational email inbox. Here is the email. And in order to get access, I simply need to click on this link or this one. And it will then tell me my account is successfully active for remote access. Okay. Once I follow that process once, I don't need to do it every time I log into ScienceDirect. My account will then be active for remote access, which means I can access it from even outside the IP range of the organization. Okay. And it will be able to give me the content the organization's made available for me. Besides being able to activate your account for remote access, having an account on ScienceDirect also allows you to see your history, which will show you the last 100 read item types on ScienceDirect. So you can see from my reading history on the 19th of May, these are the articles that I was reading about. And I can go and download the PDF or I can view the abstract. The next feature of signing in with your account is you can see your recommendations. Whenever you use ScienceDirect, whether you are within or outside of the IP range, it is a good option to always sign into your account. That way, ScienceDirect can recognize who you are, analyze what you are researching on the platform, and start to provide you with personalized recommendations. Okay? How often do you notice that when you are searching on academic databases or even on search engines, you are overloaded with the amount of content that is made available to you? You then need to go and read through the content and determine which of these items are actually relevant to what you want to see. It takes a lot of time. Using a feature like personalized recommendations will allow ScienceDirect to act as your partner in research and provide you recommended reading that is relevant for what you are researching. So thereby it will cut down on your discovery time, the amount of time it takes you to find relevant content. So if I look at my recommendations, I have been researching agricultural waste and HIV treatment, as well as antiretroviral therapy, drug resistance, and you can see that these are recommended readings for me. If you want to learn more about recommendations, you just click here and read through this. It tells you ScienceDirect is using an advanced algorithm to explain and provide you with these tailored or personalized recommendations. So definitely the feature is available. Try and get the best usage out of it. You can also set up alerts to journals and to search strings to stay up to date with the latest research. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question now. If you just hold on. Okay, so there's a poll that's popping up on your screen now. When conducting searches, you find relevant content or you have to spend a lot of time deciding what is relevant? Please indicate your choice on the screen. The question is, when you are conducting searches, do you find relevant content or do you have to spend a lot of time deciding if it is relevant? If you feel when you search you get accurate content, you select the first option. If you need to go through the content, search through it, decide whether it's actually relevant for what you're researching, you spend a lot of time reading, you find that the results are not really too specific, select second option. Okay, I see that from sharing these results, everyone is currently finding relevant content, which means that you are able to actually construct your search strings well. And some of the audience, so nearly 40%, is saying that they are spending a lot of time looking for research. So we're going to try and address both. The second question is, have you used ScienceDirect before? Yes, if you have, no, if you have not. Please let me know. Okay, so 80% of the audience has used ScienceDirect before. That's good. And 20% almost has not used it before. And can you let me know, have you used a reference manager before? Yes or no? Okay, so 64% of the audience has not used a reference manager before. This kind of gives me an indication of how to continue with today's training session. So I'm just going to resume sharing my screen. And I'd like you to look at ScienceDirect again. Let's go through since most of you are familiar with the product, I'm just going to quickly run through the options available. Firstly, you have a basic search, you have a help function. A lot of the time people do not know that if you click on that question mark, if you're on any page on ScienceDirect, it will load for you the FAQs related to that page. So if you would have had any common problem, the answer will be available for you in these FAQs. If you aren't able to find the answer, you can email us with a 24-hour response time. You can live chat or you can phone, which will call over the internet. Okay. Next, you can go through the journals and books. So if you have a specific journal or book title in mind, you can search for it here. Like for example, Lancet, and you can see all the journals available. Or if you don't know the name and you're looking for content based on subject area, you can click on the subject area drop down. For instance, if you were looking for research on agriculture, it will show you the number of publications we have on that. And if you want to dig deeper, you can go into, for example, ecology, and it will give you the number of publications. Little lower down, you can decide if you want to see journals only, books only, or both. The journals currently accepting submission. Or if you want to only see the journals that you have access to, you can select subscribed and complimentary and open access. Contains open access means that the journal is a subscription journal, but content within the journal may be freely available. So you can select the type and you can see what you have access to in that way. On the homepage of ScienceDirect, you have access. If you are a ScienceDirect subscriber, you have access to the Coronavirus Information Center. This is an information center that was set up to specialize on research on the coronavirus. Even if you're not specializing in research in this field, there is general information as well available on the vaccines, mental health resources, and public health resources. And if you are specializing on research on the coronavirus, then there is also freely available articles and book chapters on this virus to help further the research on the coronavirus. So this was set up by Elsevier last year, and it is still active for ScienceDirect subscribers. Lower down, you can filter by subject area. For instance, if you're looking for research in life sciences, there's this further breakdown here, as well as popular articles, recent publications. These are just some of the ways you can find content on ScienceDirect. And lower down, you also have the option to see all the open access content, as well as learn about the publishing choices if you were thinking about publishing open access with Elsevier. Okay, and furthermore, you've got video tutorials to support your learning journey with ScienceDirect at the bottom here. If you're thinking about publishing with Elsevier, even if it's not on open access, you can use the journal finder, which can be accessed using journalfinder.elsevier.com. You put in your title, your abstract, and your keywords, and it will locate suitable journals for you to consider publishing in. To those that are French speaking, this is an English webinar that was meant to be for the Namibia Ministry of Mines and Energy. So it is not available in French, okay? I would suggest if you need any French webinars, we do have recordings available on our website, as well as on the Elsevier Africa YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and you search Elsevier Africa and you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you will be able to find French webinars, as well as if you go to Elsevier Africa on Facebook, you will find it there too. So if you're a French speaker, I really apologize. This is an English webinar. You can feel free to drop off if you wish, and you can check the other two channels for the French webinars. Okay, so that's as far as that question. Okay, going back to ScienceDirect. Okay. You have two options for searching. As I said, you can search here or you can use the advanced search. Whenever you want to learn more about how to search on ScienceDirect, you can use the search tips option on the advanced search. And this will give you the definition of all the fields available on the advanced search, as well as an understanding of Boolean operators and phrase searches. So let me just pull up a document to help you understand how to construct a search string. A lot of the time we take a research topic or a research question as a sentence and put it into a search engine. That may not result in relevant search results because the search engine will process it as a series of keywords. It will not give you very contextual results. So following this 4-step process will actually help you to get more accurate search results. I'm going to give you an opportunity to put into the chat box any topic that you're currently researching. And if you could type it into the chat box exactly as you would have into any search engine. I'm going to just give you 2 minutes to do that. And then we'll use your example as an example for today's search string. Okay, so we have some examples that have come through. I see exploring digital technology in the foundation phase to improve reading. Okay, that's one example, science communication in Africa. Okay, okay, so some great examples coming through in the chat box. Let's take one of them. And yes, to answer the other question in chat, you will get a copy of the ScienceDirect user guide following this training session, and a recording, and additional resources like the guide that I'm using to explain to you how to construct search strings. Again, if you need a French version of the presentation, please visit the YouTube channel, Elsevier Africa, and the Elsevier Africa Facebook page. I really apologize, but this is an English training session, and it was meant for a particular organization, which is an English-speaking organization. But we do have other training resources available on Elsevier Africa YouTube channel. Let me show you how to get there before I proceed. If you go onto YouTube, Elsevier Africa, so here is the page. There's 175 videos on this page. And as you can see, it is covered in different languages as well. So you just need to search. There's one in French, and you just need another one here on Scopus. Just go through the page and you'll definitely find the resources. Okay. So that's the YouTube channel, and just going to continue now with my searching example. Okay, so this is the example in chat, and what I'd like to do is follow the 4-step process to make this search a little bit better. So if I put this into ScienceDirect, I'll copy and paste it as is. If I go to ScienceDirect, I'll put it in, and I'm going to search, and I've got 4,698 results. But as you can see from the highlighted words, it's matched maybe one word, and it's matched the others in different orders of the document. So it might not actually be what this particular person is looking for. What you need to do is take this and convert it to a series of keywords. So the first step is brainstorm keywords. What do? You look at this and you decide what the keywords are. Digital technology is a keyword or key phrase, foundation phase, and reading. Okay, so instead of looking at it as a sentence, you look at it as keywords. The next option is to expand your keywords. So think about synonyms, related terms, terms that could have been used by authors over and above these particular terms. You could use a thesaurus, you could Google search it, or maybe you can even use the ScienceDirect topics pages. What are the ScienceDirect topics pages? It's a free feature of ScienceDirect that can allow you to search for a topic, and it will give you related terms. It will give you a definition of the term, and it will give you overview of book chapters to help you understand the term better. Even if you don't have a subscription to ebooks, you can see the overview of that chapter. So straight away, searching for digital technology, I see digitization. So let's take the first phrase. That was digital technology. Or I could use digitization, right? Because that's a similar phrase. If I open this up, I can see smart city, information technology, academic libraries, cataloging. These are actually terms that could be used in this context. So digital technology or digitization or digital library, maybe even information technology. What I'm essentially saying is ScienceDirect should give me any of these. Whenever it's two or more words and the words need to appear together, you need to indicate it in quotation marks. That's the next tip, searching tip. Well, digitization is one word, so I don't need to do that. Digital library is two words. That way, ScienceDirect will look for articles and book chapters where these words appear together instead of looking for information and technology in separate places. So it will give you already a little bit more context. So these three different phrases could be used to expand the word digital technology. Foundation phase is the next important key phrase to this researcher. So I'm going to look for foundation phase. Yeah, I didn't get anything, but then I could maybe look in other places, like I could maybe Google search it. Foundation phase in teaching. Maybe even if you can't find it, you can think about the term yourself and you can say, we're looking for foundation phase. Maybe, let's leave it as that. And what about reading? You could say reading or right? So what you've done in this four-step process is decide what the keywords are and expand them, either from your own knowledge of synonyms and related terms, or using thesaurus or ScienceDirect topics pages to help you brainstorm what other keywords could be used. And then you use Boolean operators to tie the search string together. What are the Boolean operators? So back to ScienceDirect, how do you get there? You go to the advanced search and you select search tips, and it will then load this page for you. You scroll down to the Boolean operators and you can read this little portion here, which kind of explains what they are. Boolean operators are not, and, as well as or. Not means it will exclude the second term. So if I said cancer research not men, it will give me results for cancer research and remove any results that contain the word men. When I use the Boolean operator and, it will say, if I said cancer research and men, it must find me results where the word cancer research appears as well as the word men. So it must include both the terms. And if I use the Boolean operator or, and I said cancer research or men, it will provide me with the results where it's going to give me either cancer research or men. It's important to understand which is used when, especially with and as well as or. When you are not requiring the term together, you do not need to use and, you use or. So either of the terms. If you use too many ands, you're making your search string very specific, which means that you want all the terms included. So for example, if we look at the one we are using, if I said digital technology and digitization and, it means that ScienceDirect must give me an article that contains all those words. In other words, it's important to use or because these are synonyms and I want either of the terms. So therefore, I use the Boolean operator or. So there's three keywords in my search example. These 1, 2, 4 relate to digital technology. So I'm going to put it in brackets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm saying to ScienceDirect, find either of these. And when you do find it, I also want either the foundation phase or primary school. And I want either reading or literacy. So, in other words, find me one of these words as well as one of these words as well as one of these words all together in a document. Now, let me copy and paste what I've done now. Just remember, you have a Boolean character limit of 8 for ScienceDirect, so you can only use or and 8 times. Now, can you see that this is becoming more specific? Although I've got fewer results, the results are more tailored to what I want to see. And even if it's only 2 results, you can open your search string up, your search result up, and you will see recommended articles here, which are similar in nature to this one. So it's giving you more specific research results. Okay, you can see articles that cited this article. If I go to the next one, it's a book chapter. Here are some recommended articles based on this particular book chapter, but far more specific to what I want to see. I can always go back to my search string and decide. And that's far different to the 4,600 that you received in the first example. Okay, because those may not have given you digital technology together. They may not have given you foundation phase together. So it means that you would have had to go through those articles and decide. Some of them may have been relevant, but this way you're going through a more concise method, a more specific method. So that's what you could do. You can also decide, maybe you want to take out something in the search string to make it more broad. You can decide what you want to take out. Okay? Maybe there's more keywords you could have used to elaborate on the foundation phase. Or for any of these other phrases, use more keywords and you will be able to get more search results. Let's take another example. I'll take iron, bacteria, and groundwater. Next example, iron, bacteria, and groundwater. Let me go to ScienceDirect topics pages and go for iron. So I've got iron, bacteria in engineering, and it's giving me some similar or related terms. So I could say iron, bacteria. First thing I want to do is indicate that this is a phrase, which means that I put it in quotation marks to say the words need to appear together. It's giving me a definition. Iron bacteria are particularly prone to develop in wells and boreholes drawing water from ferruginous formations. Okay, so then you've got, maybe you want to say microbial as well. And groundwater. I don't know whether there's any related terms for that. The person that put in the search string can let me know, but I'll go for groundwater in chemical engineering. Okay. So iron, bacteria, or microbial and groundwater. And maybe he can go another step to say and. Maybe corrosion, absorption, or potable water. And this is a phrase. You see how you can actually expand your search string from a few words to something more? Reverse osmosis Okay, so you can think about it. You can decide what are your keywords and tie them together with those Boolean operators. Go to ScienceDirect, put it in, and search and see what you get. You've got 5 search results, and you can also expand it in different ways, right? I've got 10 more minutes, so I'm going to move on from here and just open one of the articles. You can download the PDF. If you have Mendeley Web Importer installed, you can click on your Web Importer icon and import it straight into your Mendeley library. So you can select which folder you want to add it into. I'll select testing folder and add it. And you can start building your own personal library of resources using Mendeley. Mendeley is a free reference manager. You can access it from mendeley.com. Use the same login credentials you use for ScienceDirect and download the reference manager, the web importer, which is what I just used, as well as the word plugin. You can immediately download the article. If you wanted to evaluate the journal, you click on this journal name, and it will take you to the journal homepage. Here's a picture of the journal, articles and issues, where you can access the different articles from this journal, learn more about the aims and scope, editorial board, abstract and indexing, how to publish in this journal with guides and open access options, and a link to submit your article. The journal has a CITE score of 3.7, which is a journal metric that indicates that the documents in this journal have been cited on average 3.7 times over the past 4 years. If you scroll a little lower down, you can learn more about the editorial board, as well as see the latest issues, latest published, top cited, most downloaded, and most popular. Okay, that's the home page of the journal. Then you can actually go to any of the portions of this particular article using the outline. So if I used, for example, the research data, it'll take me straight down to that portion of the article. I can see who the authors are, as well as the corresponding author is indicated with a little email icon next to their name. You can get the contact details of the corresponding author and see documents from the author itself. That can happen with any other author, as well as the co-authors here. You can see more documents from this particular author. Recommendations are already forming for you, which will link you to more research. Citing articles are articles that cited this one to broaden your search string up a bit. You can see Plumx metrics, which gives you an indication of the article's performance. It has 6 citation indexes and it has had 40 readers. Sometimes if it's been mentioned in social media or on the blogs, it will also be indicated here for you. You have the highlights of the article, the abstract, and if you're reading through the article, you can get the full scope of the article itself, as well as the methods, the tables, and the diagrams. Going to my next example. Okay, if I'm reading through this article and I decide that I want to add it to my Mendeley library, I could do so by just clicking on my web importer icon here. Or if I want to select add to library, add to Mendeley, I can select it here. If I want to share a link to the article, I can click here and select any of these mediums. Okay, let me go to one of the recommendations. Okay, this is when you're also reading through an article and you come across words that are blue hyperlinks, If you click on the word itself, it will take you to the ScienceDirect topics page. So previously I showed you to go to the ScienceDirect topics page, you go to sciencedirect.com/topics and you enter in the topic. But within the article itself, if you click on any of those hyperlinked terms, it will take you to the definition of the term, related term, and the overview of book chapters to broaden your understanding of the term. Because ScienceDirect does understand that researchers require both article and book content types to get a solid understanding of a particular concept. So it kind of makes it a seamless flow for you to go from one content type to the next. Right, so that's pretty much all you need to know about ScienceDirect and searching. I'm going to now show you a little bit about Mendeley. For instance, if you have the Mendeley Word plugin installed, you just click on it here. You sign in, and I'm also going to open the library for you, my Mendeley Reference Manager library. It's asking me to enter in my password. And this is what Mendeley looks like. Mendeley is a reference manager. It allows you to import all your references into one place. It helps you to compartmentalize it into collections. And when you select on the collection name, you will see the articles you've imported from the web. I was importing it simply by clicking on this little red icon and selecting which references I want to include into my library. When I come into my library, I can look at what I have imported. If I want to open any of the documents, I can select it here. I can select to read. And here is the article itself. I can highlight portions. I can add it to my notebook. I can maybe change the color of the highlighting. I can make a comment here. And now you can see comments forming on the side. I can go through the article. I can make another comment. And as my comments are loading, if I wanted to go to any portion of the article where I've made a note, I can click on it. It will take me straight there. I can click on it. It will take me straight there. Under the info section, I can add some tags, like for example, iron research or iron, so that when I want to search for this article, whenever I select or enter in the words iron in my Mendeley library, it will pull up this article for me. You can also work in groups on Mendeley, groups of 3, so you can leave notes for each other as well. So if I had to search now for iron, the article will come up for me. If I highlight the article, it will give me the option to read, or I can go to my annotations, select the notes that I've made, and it will take me straight through to where I made that note. If you don't want to make a note in the article and you just want to make something for your own notebook, you can always use your notebook option here. Adding references into your library makes it easier for you to reference when you are writing, for example, a research article. Say, for instance, I wanted to insert a citation. I just select it and select insert citation. I can go on. I'll search my library for water. So, and I continue doing this until I'm done preparing my document. Then I go to more and I select insert bibliography and it will do the referencing for me. If I want to change the citation style, I can always update it here. There are 7,000 styles available on Mendeley, and you can just select another style and search for a particular citation style and add it here to update your Mendeley library. That brings me to the end of today's presentation.